Well, I've spent my life trying to convince people on investing for the long term. Listen, if I knew how to double my money tomorrow, I'd probably invest for the short term too. But it's much easier to invest for the long term if you're just talking pure investment, because you know what's going to, in my view, be very high probability what's going to happen 10 and 20 years from now in a major way, and I don't have the faintest idea what's going to happen tomorrow or next week. But if you're talking about societal, it's very tough, because politicians face elections either every 2 years or 6 years, and the way particularly congressional districts have been organized, primaries have become more and more important, and so it's very hard to have politicians think of something that's wonderful for the country for 20 years, but will cost them the election 2 years from now. And that's a basic problem in a democracy, and it gets to be more of a problem as we've arranged congressional districts so the primary dominates, because a very limited number of people turn out, and their motive tend to be on the extremes of both parties. So it's not easy.
Whether you're going to make an investment in a company or whether you're going to buy the company, what are the factors that you're looking for? What test? I'm
looking for durable competitive advantage. I'm looking for something that has a moat around it for a considerable period of time. And I'm looking for an honest and able management to run it, because I don't know how to run it myself. And I'm looking for a purchase price that's not excessive. But it's better to pay a little too much for something that's a very good business than it is to buy some bargain, but really a company without much of a future. And I don't know. I don't have a ability to predict with a high probability of success the future of most companies. So I'm looking for the exception. But the nice thing is, if there's thousands of companies out there, I really don't have to be right on a couple. I mean, it's exactly the opposite of baseball, where you have called strikes, and the pitcher's trying to throw it to you at the worst part of the strike zone for you. And if he succeeds in getting into that corner 3 times and you don't swing, you're out. And investing, it's a no called strike thing. So I can sit there all day and somebody can throw me one company after another, and finally I get one in my sweet spot.
Both of you have chosen both wives and partners well. Charlie Munger added what to you?
Charlie Munger changed my views. He refined them in a huge way in terms of looking for the quality companies and looking for the ability to make an investment that would work out well for 5 or 10 or 20 years, as opposed to something there might be one, I call it cigar butt investing, where there was one puff left in the cigar, but the cigar was free, so you picked up these disgusting looking things and got one puff out of them and one onto another one. And that worked okay, but it was small scale, and it really doesn't build something satisfying. So he kept forcing me in the direction of saying, is this really a business we want to own for forever? And do we want to get associated? It's like a marriage. I mean, do you want to get associated with this person forever? And it's a great way to look at things.
Bill, your wife, Melinda, has added what?
Well, she's...
Other than 4 children. 3 children.
How much time do I have?
Because she is your partner, and she was there in the philanthropy from day one.
At Microsoft, I had 2 partners who were amazing. I had Paul Allen in the early days, and then Steve Ballmer as the company got bigger. And we would not have achieved anything what we did without those partnerships. Because, when things are tough, when you're making big decisions, having somebody who's really in there with you, committed, for me, I couldn't have done without that. For the foundation, Melinda's an amazing partner. She thinks about the people issues better than I do. She, knows when I get overexcited about the science. She can, make sure we're being realistic about it, and it makes it fun. Last week I went to Europe to World Economic Forum. She went to Nigeria, and then this weekend we just sat and talked about, okay, what did we see? What does that say about the work we should do? And so, I don't think I'd enjoy it without a partner, and particularly someone amazing like her.
It's more fun with a partner. I mean, Charlie and I have had more fun working together than either one of us would have had individually, and we have never had an argument after working together for 58 years.
You talk every day?
Not anymore, because we know what the other guy's going to say. We just grunt. We talked it all out 50 years ago.
So if you see Charlie and he says, "Why haven't you called me?" you'd say, "Well, I knew what you'd say anyway."
Absolutely. No, there's no question about it. We still have a lot of fun together.
Are there any major life lessons that you two have learned through your personal experiences?
Well, it's a very important question, and the more you will move in the direction of the people that you associate with. So it's important to associate with people that are better than yourself, and actually the most important decision many of you make, not all of you, will be the spouse you choose.
Right.
And you want to associate with people who are the kind of person you'd like to be. You'll move in that direction, and the most important person by far in that respect is your spouse. I can't overemphasize how important that is, and you're right. The friends you have, they will form you as you go through life, and make some good friends, keep them for the rest of your life, but have them be people that you admire as well as like.
Bill, would add to that?
Yeah, some friends do bring out the best in you, and so it's good to invest in those friendships. And some friends challenge you about things you're doing, and that level of intimacy is great. I wouldn't say that I was so obsessed with work. I didn't invest, I'd say, in my 20s and 30s as much as I should have. It's really through Melinda and seeing other people I realized, okay, that is it's really worth the investment to have those people, as you're always there to help them, and vice versa.